Welcome to Silicon Valley Impact, where business insight meets startup innovation. Brought to you live from sunny Silicon Valley, California. Please give a warm welcome to your host, Mr. Brian Sparks.
And let it hang there for a minute and enjoy the beautiful voice of God, Brian Bernasconi.
What a gorgeous day it is here today in Silicon Valley, California.
You threw that in, and I'm glad you did, Brian.
No, it's absolutely just been stunning here. A little warm, but you know what? We'll take it.
Yeah. I love it. I had to walk to the show today.
God.
I had to take the car in. I had to take the car in, let's just get a little tune up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I enjoyed the weather, the people out there drinking their coffee. So a lot of things going on.
No, I was down at the coast last night. It was a little chilly, but absolutely gorgeous. I mean, it's just the best time of year right now.
Yeah, we're fortunate out here in Bay Area to have great weather. And so a lot to be thankful for.
Yeah. Hey, Brian, I'm supposed to remind you to read your list of things that you want people to know about.
Oh, yes. Thank you, Brian, for doing that. I want to let our audience know coming in August 27th, STEP San Francisco is back. So
what is STEP San Francisco?
So
Tell me that.
It's a great conference around the startup ecosystem. I think, Ella, were you there last year for STEP?
I don't remember. Probably.
Okay, you're so many. I get to invite to a couple. She's at everyone. So I was invited to STEP last year, and so they're back. And so if you're interested,
I didn't hear what it was. Did I?
It's the startup ecosystem. We'll have investors and startups and subject matter.
Oh, got it.
There'll be a demo day. They got a lot going on.
Okay.
It's expected to be bigger, but I will leave a link in the show notes if you're interested in going to a great conference that focuses on the startup ecosystem.
Okay, great.
Yeah, and that's happening in August.
Those show notes can be found. I'm sorry, were you going to say dates? Go ahead.
Well, I was going to pivot to the next one.
Oh, I was just going to say those show notes are at in Apple Podcasts.
Yeah,
where you might be listening, and if you are, we'd like you to subscribe, please, now, and maybe tell a couple friends. And if you're watching on YouTube, we'd like you to subscribe there as well, and maybe tell a few friends. Right?
Yes,
that's
said.
That's my pitch.
Well said.
Okay.
I love it. And we have another event.
They love me.
They can't get enough. They can't get enough of you, Brian. All right. And another thing, next week, this June 24th, which is actually this week when this airs, we're doing another speaker series over at Stack. We've got 3 very good investors who will be showing up. Ed Dua is going to be there. Bryce Gillian from Berkeley Skydeck and the Cal Innovation Fund, and Ryan Green from Antler will be there. So these are very wise individuals. MidFirst Bank, big shout out to Chris Croswell for sponsoring that. And then Red Bull will also be out there providing drinks to the millions and millions of fans who will be watching the show.
Great. Yeah, we had some Red Bull activity in here last week.
Yeah.
Or this week.
We have it this week, and Darnell was on last week, so that's out. Darnell. Check out that episode, which was really
it just really dropped. Fun. It just dropped a couple minutes ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
Okay.
Wow, you got a lot going on. Good for you.
Going on. But nothing in compared to the guests we have today.
Precisely.
But wait.
There's more.
There's more.
All right.
Okay. I first want to welcome everyone to Silicon Valley Impact. I'm your host, Brian Sparks, and that with the voice of God is Brian Bernasconi. The purpose of this show is to have honest conversations about what it takes to build great businesses and communities so that you can make an impact within your own. T-shirts are coming.
Within your own, Brian.
Within your own. All right, let's get into it. Got 3 amazing guests today. Again, the purpose, not to reemphasize the intro, but the purpose of this show is really not only in the aforementioned format, but to get insight into how builders think, how investors think, and how they feel about what they're creating, and how we all can play in this sandbox and build together and make an impact. So that may be the new show intro, Brian. Did you like that? Yeah, that kind of woke you up.
I think it may be a little bit of refinement, but I think it was pretty good.
Thank you.
Because that really is. I mean, that's what we're here for.
Yeah, and so we got 3 people today who are going to give us some of that intro. That's insight, and in true Silicon Valley Impact fashion, I don't do intros, so I will let our guests do that. We have Azadeh, Ella, and Zain. I know I'll get it by the end of the show. Zain, I'll get it right. But Azadeh, good to see you.
Good to see you, Brian.
You're kind of this is a coming home moment for you back in Las Vegas.
Yeah, it is. It's my hometown.
Yeah.
My store was just down the street next to Apple.
And
for years.
A lot has happened. So introduce yourself to our guests so they can kind of get a feel of what you've been up to and what you're working on.
My name is Azadeh Riaz. I am a fashion designer and the founder of House of Azadeh at this moment, but I been in fashion business over 3 decades. The first designer and the creator of brand Bebe. I created my own brand after that, Azadeh Couture, and now I have a new concept, House of Azadeh, and I'm in the process of opening my 3rd location next month.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So
Great.
big. You're playing. So the music in the background was your website.
A little bit of Fashion Week music. I thought it's Fashion Week here at Silicon Valley
Love
Impact.
it.
Okay. I can see it. He's got the stuff pulled up.
I like that.
Yeah, this is for you.
Thank you, Brian.
You're very welcome.
All right.
I mean, there's really you
gotta
can't be
go.
fashionable without runway
need that.
music.
We need that when the word of fashion is used. Yeah.
Always. I mean, they
Good.
got the coolest music. They got
I wonder
the coolest
what
everything.
you're going to play for Ella.
We can go without music.
Everyone
That's
has
fine.
everyone has their theme music here at Silicon Valley.
I'm waiting.
All right. Well done. Very good intro, Azadeh. We're going to come back how you built your house of you built an amazing house, amazing business.
Yes.
And so we're going to talk a little bit about that. But Ella, good to see you.
Likewise, thank you so much for having me. Happy to be here, Brian and Brian.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And it's great to be here with such great hosts as well. So my name is Ella Shukho. I've been in venture capital for more than 10 years, mostly on operators and platform roles, running accelerators and helping startup founders raise their money, as well as helping VCs to find good startups. That's what
You've kind of worn many hats in this space, so we're definitely going to have some fun talking about what it's like to build now. I mean, it's changed. Everything is happening much faster. How can we accelerate? So we'll definitely talk about all of that with you, Zan. You've got an interesting story. Love what you brought into the studio. So if you're watching on YouTube, you can see the product that you brought in, but do a little intro and tell us what we're looking at here.
Perfect. Lovely to be here. So, hey everyone, I'm Zain Samdani, a founder from Germany, and I'm the co-founder and creative director for Please Touch This Art. Essentially, what we do is we make museum art. You know, when you go to museums, you see these signs that say, please do not touch, and it infuriates you because you want to touch these pieces of art.
Yeah.
So what we've done is we've taken these paintings and sculptures and we convert them into 3D art. So blind people and everybody else can actually touch art at museums and understand them.
I love it. And you have a piece here.
Yeah.
I'm going to Brian and give it, because we're not getting on the camera.
Yeah.
It's hard
So
to
what
see.
Brian is doing is showing, if you're on the YouTube side, you can see the 3D image of Please Touch This. And that is a picture of what? So
This is a picture of Van Gogh's self-portrait.
okay. And so the idea is for this to sit in front of the art so people can really get a feel of the texture of what's going on and actually almost like see it with their hands.
Yes,
And experience it.
exactly. It's accompanied with an audio guide that also takes you through the experience, specifically for blind people. And yeah, they're able to. Brian, we've had blind people who kept touching this for 30 to 45 minutes. You know, and yeah, just seeing the joy on their face just
right,
it lights me up.
Okay. All right. I had to make an adjustment. Brian, that's going to fall.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but
protect
but it's
the art.
fine now. It's good.
Okay.
And in fact, we can almost see it better. But for the people who are listening, if you want to go over to YouTube, it is pretty interesting to see the visual 3-dimensional piece of art that's on the set right now.
Yeah, and we're going to talk about where this came from for you. But it looks like there's a theme of just the arts here in Silicon Valley Impact. I love it.
That's right.
Okay.
We're getting artsy today.
We are getting artsy.
I like it.
All right, so let's kind of break down what got you all into the space that you're in. Obviously, with all our listeners, there's a genesis moment. There's realizing what your passion is. And so, Azadeh, I want to start with you because you have really built an incredible brand, and you've done it through a couple of generations, and it's it's really stuck. So, what got you into the fashion space? When did you realize, hey, I care about what people wear. I care what I wear. Where did it all begin for you?
I don't think it began that way, but as I am growing in my business, I'm realizing more that what do I like to do. And I think at the beginning, I was more of a designer, creator, manufacturer. I had a job to complete. But right now, with all the years of experience, I see myself that I make huge changes in people's life. I almost can tell you that every day I receive 10, 20 text messages from my clients that I feel like $1,000,000. Look what you done for me. Or I have an attorney client that she texts me and she wants me to know that she won the case because of the suit that I put on her. Or I mean, every day is an experience. So I'm basically building my career based on what I'm learning day by day.
So it's evolved for you. I mean, what it may have been like in the beginning when you were just starting out, it may have been a job.
Yes, it's always like that. But then you become like master chef, or you become that, chef that you have to have the right product to create your menu. So for me, where I'm standing today, if I didn't have the concept of what do I want to do, I could not be who I want to be. Like I created brands of, when I was creating Bebe, and that brand basically was a mass brand, and it was a big company, and I was working with the owner, and I was the creator. But then when I created my own company, Azadeh Couture, I owned it. I was dealing with, okay, this is my brand. I have to do this. I have to do that. Now I am focusing on multi-brand company. So by focusing on that, I'm trying to make sure that not only I have something for me, I have something for Ella, I have something for X and Y and Z. So I have to have all of this under my roof to be able to deliver what I like to do. And my job is not only selling clothes, I create image, I create a lifestyle. I make sure that she's 100% satisfied with my work.
So I want to speak to all of the, corporate people who are listening, those who have a job, but yet are thinking of building something in the future. What I'm hearing is that you almost became an entrepreneur first. You were building a brand. You were on the front lines. It was in your hands to kind of design where this company was going to go.
Yeah.
And you owned it as if it was your own. And so what I'm hearing is there was this entrepreneur spirit where you may not have been the entrepreneur, the founder at the time, but yet you owned it. And that's usually where it begins, because sooner or later you start to see, because you're so immersed in it, where's the gaps?
You nailed it, Brian. You nailed it, because this is what I see is missing in today's world. It's everybody is waiting to really create it from scratch themselves, which you really need to walk on someone else's shadow to become who you are today. You really need to understand that you have a responsibility of delivering the job, right? When I was in Bebe, my boss, the owner of Bebe, wanted me to make sure that every design is successful, because I had the responsibility of cutting thousands of them from each design, and I had the responsibility of manufacturing it, delivering it, make sure nobody complains about it. And when you build that under someone else's shadow, because I was in my 20s, what did I know about running a company? But I learned from him how to become an entrepreneur.
So again, you took it on, and what I'm hearing too, and I think this is where we all can chime in on this, is there's this incredible empathy for what people need. There's an understanding. You said walking in people's shadows. I love that. You really kind of stand in their space and understand what they need.
Yeah.
And so I want to come back to how this evolved for you, but let's stay with this theme as we kind of move it around. Ella, you see a lot of startups in the early stages. What are some of what is the necessary mindset of those who succeed and those who kind of fall flat in order to, get out of the blocks in the early stages of their company?
First and foremost, I think I should have dressed a little bit up today if I knew that I was going to be here. I feel like I'm undressed a little bit, but yeah, just listening
You're
about
perfect.
just listening about what she's done and what she's doing, what she's building. It's been very inspiring.
Mm-hmm.
Going back to your question about what stands out when you look at the startup. So if it's an early stage startup, it's a team. It's always the team.
Mm-hmm.
When we're talking about pre-seed, seed stage companies, you cannot be sure if the traction is going to last forever, because I've seen companies who would get to 1 million ARR pretty fast and then just boom, nothing. Because the market changed. There was like a huge thing happened in the society, socioeconomic factors. Different factors actually affect that. You just got to be sure that the founder you bet on will stick around and would pivot or would come up with a new idea, or like they won't give up. That's basically like the baseline of it.
Yeah. And to integrate what Azadeh was saying, it's understanding what the market needs. I mean, she may be thinking about, okay, what does this customer need to wear to feel like a superhero and win the court case?
I'm pretty much sure that Azadeh went to through a lot of periods in fashion where like something was in and something was out, right?
Oh, all the time.
Did you ever think about quitting the fashion?
Never.
There you go. You just stick around through.
I think in any job, any startup, any business, if you feel like you have even a cell in your body that you want to quit, then you better not get into that, You jump in the river and start swimming.
And there are people who are not just carved out for this.
Mm-hmm. Well, I also see, to kind of complete the idea of this empathy strength, is it's not just keep going for resilience sake, right? It's also keep going, but knowing what your customer and your market needs and wants. So it's that empathy piece.
I didn't think of that as empathy. I would think of that like, as you mentioned, like knowing your client and living your potential customer and living their lives with them. You gotta know how your client lives and breathes.
Yes.
Like they get up in the morning. What do they do the first thing? What do they do next? How their day looks like, where you can chime in and help them to make it better, or like fix a bug they're working on. So yes, absolutely, you're right. So yeah.
So same question I asked Azadeh and Zain. I'm going to ask you the same question. What got you into this startup space? Where was the pull? When did that happen for you?
Curiosity. I'm very curious by nature. I like to learn new things, and I'm always in the mode of learning something new and being on the edge of new technologies, meaning if there's a new thing, a new small piece of tech that's going to improve my life by a certain percent, like by 2-3%, I'm going to go and try it out. I'm going to give it a try. I'm the early adopter of many techies that's out there. So that was pure curiosity, and I got in there in 2014, just learning about startups. And startup, it was a buzzword back then. I'm like, okay, what does it mean? How does it work? Back then, I was working with advisor of a huge innovation cluster in Moscow. And that's where we kind of learned what a startup is, what venture capital is. And then I started volunteering, doing cold calls for a startup. So fast forward, that startup got acquired, and the rest is the history. So yeah, that's how I got into the startup.
You took the most glorious job in startup, the cold caller. Okay.
I love that. Oh my God, it humbles you a lot.
Yeah.
It humbles you a lot when people are just, don't call me anymore, and they just hang up when you know, I got to keep trying. I'm not stopping.
How did you get this number?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Good. You bring PTSD is fully activated right now. Okay. All right. Awesome. I love it. So Zain, welcome to the show.
Thank you for
Good
having
seeing
me.
you once again. What you didn't mention in your intro, maybe I missed it, but you were part of the Red Bull basement.
Yes.
How did that go? How did you get involved? What was the start for you with all of this? Give us that little space in your life. How did you come up with the idea and then on into the Red Bull competition?
Perfect.
Can I interject? You're referencing something that we talked about last week, and you and I know about it. But for the audience, can you tell us what the Red Bull basement competition was? What are we talking about?
Yeah. You want me to do it?
Yes, please.
Oh,
I think
okay.
For the sake of the audience, you're just referencing an inside term that I don't know that everybody knows about.
So all over the world, there's always great competitions, pitch competitions. We had Bill Reichert in here. He's with Pegasus Ventures. He runs this, the Startup World Cup. This is a very popular pitch competition, and there are similar pitch competitions all over the world. And one I think is just in the early years. I think this is the second or third or first, at least here in San Francisco.
Oh yeah, I think they're present. I think the finals happened for the first time in San Francisco.
Okay, but it's a global pitch competition that started in individual countries. They had their winner, and then they brought those winners. I think there was how many at the
47, I believe.
Not at the finals, but the regionals, the local.
The total.
Yeah,
the total was close to 140K or something like that.
Yeah, that's a huge number that whittled down to like 40 that ended up here in San Francisco. And then there was the top 10. You made the top 10, didn't
you?
Okay.
Right. That's the context I was looking for.
Great. And it was super exciting. Of course, if you don't know anything about Red Bull, they did not disappoint in terms of their brand and their presentation. It was really well done. It was on Pier 48. I think it was the 3rd or the 5th, or maybe 3rd through the 5th, wasn't it?
Oh, I think so, yeah.
Okay, something like that. All right, take it away.
Perfect.
Was that good, Brian?
Yeah, that was great. Right. Thank you very much.
Where's the applause? There's a little can applause.
You need applause.
Yeah. Thank you.
Jeez.
I need my validation, Brian. All right. Go ahead, Sam.
All right. So for my journey with Please Touch This Art, honestly speaking, I come from a family of artists, and I've been painting since I was 2. Right? And I've been dabbling with different art forms, modern art, realistic art. However, though, a couple of years ago, I was afflicted with a rare medical condition because of which I almost went blind. So I could only use my eyesight for 2 hours a day. And that really, and for the first time in my life, I stood in front of art and I couldn't really reach it. And that's when I truly realized on what blind people might go through, right? And 2 years ago, I came across this opportunity to work with museums and do something for blind people, and I immediately hopped on. And that's what led to Please Touch This Art. So from the get-go, we've been working with museum directors, blind associations, accessibility experts. And over the course of 2 years, after battle testing, let's say different techniques, multitude of different models, we finally perfected our method. And then now we are basically scaling across different museums in Germany and Europe.
And you already have sales.
We already have sales, yes.
And where are you at now, and then kind of what's next for you guys?
So just to give you an example, in the past month alone, we've had 6 museums reach out to us, and they are requesting, I think in total, 35 different paintings, and our average sale value for each piece is around 12.5K.
Nice. And you want this to obviously go global and have this type of art in every museum so people can enjoy this. That's your ambition. I'm
yes. And here's the thing. We initially intended this just for blind people. However, the museum directors, they keep coming back to us telling us on how kids especially love touching this at museums. Because for me personally, I've always had this, let's say, urge whenever I see Please Do Not Touch.
Yeah.
Like, I actually do want to touch the painting to feel the texture, the strokes and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a way for us to do that.
Oh, sounds fun. And it looks great. I mean, you could just have it as a standalone piece personally.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
When you recreate the painting,
yes,
do you follow the exact strokes? Do you kind of like zoom into the original somehow? How do you create these pictures?
Really good question. So we have an art historian on our team who works closely with these museum directors to fully understand what the main, let's say, concept behind the painting itself is. Because the way how blind people interpret art is very different from how we interpret art. For example, if a painting has too much detail, it appears as noise to them, right? Even though they can keep touching it with audio guides, they can't really figure out what it is. Right, so in different paintings, we then isolate, let's say, the background completely. We make it flat, and then we make some of the strokes appear on the painting itself, or if it's a portrait, on their clothes. It goes from painting to painting, depending on what's most important. For Van Gogh, of course, one of the most important things is the swirls or the strokes. Yeah. That is Van Gogh's art style. So it's important to highlight that. So you see a lot of that in here, but in some of our other pieces, they're flattened out.
Very interesting.
Yeah, they look really good. Okay, we'll talk a little bit more about what was your go-to-market strategy when you first got this idea? What was your first adopters like? What was it like bringing this to market? Because you were telling me at the pitch event that you've built your own machines to build this. Is this correct?
Yes. So we have taken traditional 3D printers and we have altered them such that we can do basically a fusion of different materials at the same time. For example, this is reinforced with fiberglass, and we use a variety of different materials and different techniques such as CNC, woodworking. Some things are reinforced with metal as well, and depending on what kind of let's say 3D object that the client wants, because we are not just limited to paintings, we also do sculptures.
Okay, so it kind of grew once you started to engage the market, and that's starting to get really exciting. I love it.
For example, something that might be more exciting is almost a year ago, we were contacted by the European Space Agency, and they commissioned us to recreate the tactile surface of Mars. So we worked with their top scientists for almost 3 months to first understand how the soil texture might feel like based on all the data that they had, and then we recreated 3 distinct pieces that at one of their flagship events, visitors just came and they could feel how Mars could potentially feel like here on Earth.
Have you ever thought of creating your own museum where you can just come in and touch everything that you want, including the Mars?
That is something that we have planned for down the line.
All right, sounds cool.
I think the smartest part of your business is the name.
Please touch this art. Yes.
Yeah. I think that is the 100% part of, because I know about your business. I read about it, I saw it, and I pay attention that how people, they pick their logo or their name. And I think the name of your business, it's what brings the attention to everybody. Touch it.
To support what Azadeh says, art is very intertwined with business. That's my personal opinion, because every logo, every color, it's all about art. The way you position yourself, the way you put your brand out there, what do you want your brand to convey, right? And most of the people that I know, they go back to classics. They go back to art, like Greek art, history.
Well, in my world is the same. I always break down buying in 3 steps. I think it's not about design. It's first is the color that attracts you, and you go toward the garment. Then it's the touch. Then it's the design. You know,
Actually, yeah.
You look at the garment, you see what color it is, and when you touch it, that's when you get attracted, and then you pull the garment out of the rack. So
Every time. This is always the way it goes. No, you walk over, you see it, you're attracted by the color, and then immediately you want to feel it and touch it.
You have to break down how humans think. And I think you definitely have the best concept in your business, that you are literally ordering me what to do.
So what's the third? You said there's 3. What was the third? It's color, touch. What was it?
And then it's the design.
Okay, Brian, I want to give this to our audience. So some of you might go, "Oh, where there's talking about clothes," but I want to tell you what I'm hearing. Not only is this, if we're thinking logo and going to market and positioning, like you're mentioning, you can convert this to not only touch, because obviously you can't touch a logo. I mean, you just see it first, but you can still feel it. Internally.
It's the perception.
Yes. And so this is what I want all you early stage founders to hear when you're coming up with a name, you're coming up with your mission statement, and you're building that story. The importance of how it looks, how it sounds and makes someone feel is huge. I have listened to thousands of pitches, and if I'm being honest, a name will have me completely tuned out or tuned in, and in all points in between, right? And so if you can't pronounce it, it looks like a license plate, right? It's like these new names that got numbers and letters in them and hyphens, and it's like, well, what am I saying here? It's you want that look and feel that resonates not only with you and your passion, but your audience. So what we've talked about here is when you know your audience and what you want them to think and feel, it really begins with the name. right?
You can check it online or through AI, whatever, and you can confirm it. So each color conveys a certain emotion in it.
Yes.
So deep purple, it's like this high quality, elite, really smart, and somehow more mature people pick deep purple. Same goes for burgundy. And I'm not trying to step on your toes here.
No. I'm not expert in everything. I love to listen.
Picking the color for your company is important at some point. Not in the very beginning, pre-seed and seed founders. Color is something that you think about when you raise or you make your first money. So that's that. First, think about your customers.
Yeah, I love it. Great topic. Again, a little detail that makes the difference when you're trying to build a company. So, Azadeh, I want to come back to you in your journey. You were obviously on the front lines of Bebe. You were, building the image. You were doing. You were all things behind the scenes. It sounds like, and then you decided to pivot. You made a major pivot in your life, going from Bebe to your own brand.
Yeah.
What was that transition like? What was that thought process and experience and emotion like for you as you started out building your great brand moving forward?
I think the way I always think and I plan, it's based on the needs of the market. And I'm sure it's the same thing for both of you in the field that you're working. I focus on needs. When I came out of Bebe, already so many other chain brand was created, which we were pioneer, but then was Zara, and then it was Mango, and it was one after each other they were coming out, and it was chain of Gaps and Limited. And so I was feeling like, if I'm that successful, sophisticated woman, and I don't want to necessarily wear something that hundreds or thousands of them are made, what would I want? What would I want is that I want to walk into an event and I don't want to look like others. And that's when I created Azadeh Couture. And basically in Azadeh Couture, we would build to the proportion, because my concept is actually it grow from Bebe. And I was talking at beginning of our event today with Ella that just the same way we don't look alike, we're not build alike. We're not like you gentlemen that you just wear a small, medium, large. Women are very different. They like to look individual and they like to show their proportion. So buying things that it really fits you, it's really a challenge.
Just for the context for our audience, we talk a lot about startups in here, and those who listen to our show a lot. Just to be clear, this isn't something you just began. You do have a new portion, a new part of your business.
Yes,
we'll talk about that in a little bit. But you started this. How long are we looking back here?
I started that basically, I would say 2 years before Millennium. Yeah.
Okay.
Just 98.
1998.
Yeah.
And you have just been crushing it ever since. And oh yes, I almost forgot, Brian.
I thought you did. And I hate to interrupt because the conversation is engaging and I want to be here now, but I have to do this because I've got a burning need, Brian.
Yeah.
I've got a burning need to tell you about recruiting and talent. You with me?
Yeah,
I'm sorry to interrupt you guys. Seriously, I really am. But this is super important. Talent, for everybody on here, everybody knows this. Talent is your biggest competitive advantage, but only if you hire right. You know what I'm talking about right now.
I hear you.
We're talking about Moralis HR. They are the human-centered recruiting and executive search firm built for today's business demands. They're delivering curated, high-quality talent. When, Brian? When it matters most. I can't believe you don't know this. This is when you need the talent. Is when it matters most. From full-time contract roles across North America, Moralis HR connects you to the talent your company needs. These are real people. This is real experience. And these are real results. So if you're falling behind on hiring, or if you're frustrated with low-quality candidates, or worried about the rise of fake resumes or fake candidates, go to moralishr.com right now. Well, not right now. Finish the show and then go to moralishr.com because they are the absolute best, bar none.
Amazing.
Thank you very much.
Out the door, the ad fairy goes. Thank you, ad fairy.
I'm going to do that. I'm hiring.
Yeah.
honestly.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, well,
and you should, because you can't go wrong.
Yeah,
I'm taking
I'll
notes.
connect
It's
you
a
with,
win. It's a win.
I'll connect you with Shelly. She's the best in the business at finding talent. Ella, you were saying earlier, team is everything.
Yeah.
If you want to build your team, find that talent. Shelly's the go-to.
We're still going.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. Maybe we should just do the rest of the
The whole show is now pivoted to talent. All right. Thank you, Shelly.
All right.
Morales HR.
Back to you, Brian.
Thank you. All right, so we're talking about how Azadeh started to build her brand in the beginning, in the early stages of building your own brand and and identifying the difference between what men and women wear, what they need, how they feel when they wear something. What were some of the early stage challenges that you had in building your brand?
Talent.
Finding
I
talent.
needed the right people to work for me.
Yeah.
I think it was financial support because I was early 30 and I was such an artist and hardworking person that I didn't know much about the law and rule and regulation of corporation in California. So I learned that very quickly, and I hired myself an amazing CPA, which I really recommend that to everybody. You cannot definitely mess with government.
Yeah.
And the other thing was surround myself with the right team. You cannot be alone.
Yeah.
I mean, right now I have the best partner. I don't think I can do without him. He's the one, he holds my hand in every matter because, some people, they think, oh, partner, no, it's not a good news. If you find the right partner, it's the best thing you can do when you're a startup company.
Yeah, and let me expand this idea on partner. It's you have a great team, like Ellie, you were talking.
Co-founder.
Yeah, co-founders. You have a great team, but you also mentioned, which I love championing, great service providers, meaning finding that CPA that can help you with the numbers, finding that lawyer who can help you make sure you're compliant, right? Finding the right talent recruiter who can help you find, so it's really a chessboard. And having all the pieces on the board and knowing how they move, and then also letting them do what they do so that you can go back to what you do best is really, it's overlooked.
Yeah.
A lot of people will just jump in, start building, and then they start flailing when they don't have the support around them.
I know so many designers that they were super successful during 90s or millennium, that they went belly up and they lost their business because they didn't pay their taxes correctly. And knowing the knowledge behind creating a business is as important as the idea of having a creative mind.
Yeah.
It's a hand-to-hand subject.
I love it.
Paying taxes is important. CPAs are important. At the same time, I want to emphasize the importance of hiring the first team by the founder, because it's the founder's job to convince those amazing specialists, amazing professionals to believe in his idea and join him, maybe leave some good salaries at Google or any other Magnificent Seven companies and join him in building his own venture. So that's up to founder to find and build that initial great team from which they're going to start and take off. And when we're talking about CPA and compliance, there's a lot of tools today that's going to help you out if you're building your company early on. Use those tools. At the same time, do not neglect the human being in the process, because still there's a human being who has to observe all that, and the founder cannot do everything at the same time.
Yeah.
And so what are the qualities a founder needs to have to recruit a team? I mean, do you just go to a meetup and go, hey, I like you, you want to build a company? Or is it more methodical? I mean, or is it something in between? What does it look like? Ella, Zain, you've built a team as well, and you're not solo. You got a team now.
No.
So let's kick this idea around about what it looked like through experience, through observation, to build that team. What does the original founder qualities, what do they possess? I'll just kind of trot it out there, and you guys can educate me.
Honestly speaking, for my team, and also and maybe all the teams that I've built up until this point, it's mostly been, I look at people who are obsessed with what they do, right? And they have this burning need to just get things right in that sense. Well, for example, I love telling the story about how I met one of my co-founders. So his name is Raman. He's also the one who pitched with me on stage. And this is first week of college. Okay, I'm just walking through the library, checking things out, and as I'm walking through, I see someone building an app on this desk. I'm like, oh, like that's so cool. I go up to this person, and then I'm like, hey, what are you building? He's like, oh yeah, dude, the university's calendar app is quite pardon my language, is quite shit. So I'm just building my own.
Viewer discretion is advised.
Thank you, Brian.
Yeah. So so I'm just building my own, and that's when I knew that, hey, I want to work with this person, because he's just obsessed with design. He's obsessed with doing things the right way. And I met him 5 years ago. We've taken part in hackathons. We have worked on different projects, and now we're doing business together.
I got to ask, this is or isn't your first company?
This is my second company.
Okay. All right. So
I think reflection of you.
reflection of me?
Anyone that
reflection.
wants
It's
to
like
find
talking about
reflection of you.
Yeah.
It should be the way you want to find your co-founder or your staff.
how so? So I gotta ask. So how do you find the balance of somebody, who's a reflection of you, but at the same time helps compensate for where you may not be strong? I mean, is there a balance? I mean, obviously you guys got to get along, but
That's called match in heaven.
yeah. So how did you find your co-founder or business partners, and then Ella, what you've seen has been kind of the best practice?
I don't think it's about finding. Sometimes you come across and they watch you and they trust you and they want to work with you sometimes. That happens a lot. Hiring, it's something else. But, sometimes it's about a formula of you find each other and they know so much about your background and you just pop the question and let's do it together and they trust you. That's my case.
Okay, and that fit for you, Ella. What are your thoughts on this?
So two things on that. First, two topics that you really touched and really I agree with. First one is trust. Trust is a big thing. So how do you finding a co-founder and hiring a team? Those are two processes, right? Early team. Finding a co-founder is someone you trust. Trust is like the building block. It lies in like, if there's no trust, there's no business. There's no, there's nothing. So about complementing each other, traits or like qualities. I've seen so many companies where one founder who was, so for example, one of my favorite companies that I worked with, so one founder was obsessed with details. Everything should have been perfect. Unless it's perfect, the product doesn't go live or like it's not shipped unless it's perfect. The perfection was everywhere for him. So, and his co-founder, he was very laid back, very chill. And he's like, nah, we're shipping this. If I wait for you, so it's going to get perfect, we're never going to ship it. And guess what? They raised their money and they're building an amazing company right now because one complements each other. So that's a very important, from my experience, that if I'm not good with tech, for example, I'm going to look for a very good CTO with whom we match. I don't want to say personally, but be like a good friend in the beginning. Yeah. Like being kind to each other, trusting each other, at the same time being able to say when I'm making a mistake and when you are making a mistake, to build that kind of respect and relationship. I think that's very important. Right. I'm not saying that they never fight, they do, but being able to resolve the issue and being able to sit and actually talk, that's really matters early on.
Yeah.
When you're hiring your team, it's also about trust. You previously asked how you sell the idea, right? Like, how do you hire the best of the best? First one, they're obsessed with the same problem. They're trying to solve the same problem. Entrepreneurship in its deep core, it's about not agreeing what world gave you. You want to go out and fix it because you think this is wrong. This is not how it should work. And that's where you go and you become entrepreneur, in my opinion. So finding same-minded people, same-minded person who are obsessed about this problem, not the product, not the solution, but the problem, That's number one priority from what I've seen.
I love that. One of my favorite questions to ask a startup is what keeps you up at night?
Yeah.
And the way that they answer it really answers that question. If they say, well, I'm worried about this feature and what versus, I just want to figure out how to solve this problem. Yeah. It's a two-path prong, right? It's a product focused, problem focused.
Exactly.
I want to hear the problem in the early stages, right? And both of you, all of you made good points. You were talking about passion, similar passions and trust. But one thing I realized is I'm probably more like the laid back guy, but I want someone on the team like Brian. He's always, he's probably a lot more structured than I am, which I love about him. And when it comes to building this business, because you've got to be able to look at a business from multiple perspectives with understanding.
Absolutely.
So in the fashion space, you really need to be constantly creative, right? But if you're a CPA, you can't be creative, right? You can't be like, it's close enough, just let it roll. Send those numbers out. You've got to be precise. You've got to be obsessed with having the right numbers. So I think the capacity...
Some CPAs would argue with you, Brian. I don't know. They think
I heard it when
numbers
I said it.
Numbers are
so fuzzy. But the capacity to look at something from multiple perspectives and know your strengths and weaknesses, I think is a skill set of a great founder. Right, I don't do numbers very well. I'm going to bring someone in who is disciplined in that space, and I'm going to go out and be creative and communicative and connecting others.
And trust the person I brought in.
Trust. Yeah.
Trust the person, so I can let it go and just focus on what I'm good at.
Yeah, and then interject. You're all passionate about the same thing. You may stress test each other every once in a while, but nonetheless, at the end of the day, you've got a passionate connection with the problem.
Yeah, absolutely. That's how I have it with my co-founder, and especially the way that you described it. One that is more laid back, and one that is obsessed with details.
Yeah.
Right. That just allows us to look out for each other's shortcomings as well, and also at the same time have these fruitful, let's say, discussions. All right, wherein we might not agree with each other, but we're obsessed with the problem. Right. So it's all about solving the problem at the end of the day. So we come to a similar conclusion.
Which one are you?
I will actually let you guess that.
You're the creative one. You began with the art. That's going to be my guess.
So I'm the more laid back one. I'm the one that is pushing for, let's say, like radical change over and over. And then my co-founder is the one who's more, let's say, who's more down to earth. So he's like bringing me back to reality, and then we find a middle ground.
He's the anchor. You're the balloon.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Go ahead, Brian.
That's you.
Okay. All right. Well, there's our good friend, the ad fairy, and I want to remind everybody, get on the edges of your seat for this one.
I am. I can't wait.
Okay.
I'm so eager.
Stack Ventures is transforming the real estate into full stack ecosystem solutions for the East Bay residency and global startups. Backed by Baring Capital, located in the heart of Uptown Oakland at 1900 Broadway and 1950 Franklin. Stack Space has three towers with over 1.6 million square feet of luxury living, event space, resort style amenities, EV mobility, office space, and access to one of the biggest startup ecosystems in the Bay Area. Check out stackspace.com. That's STAK, stackspace.com.
Wow. Well done, Brian.
Thanks, Brian.
It's good to know about that place.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a magical place. It really is.
In fact, that's where the Speaker Series event on June 24th is going to be. So
at Stack.
Love to see you all out there.
And they have events and things going on all the time. It's a vibrant space.
Yes.
Yeah.
Great place to host.
Gorgeous.
Great place to host your community activation, event dinners, customer engagements, a lot of nice space out there to do your events. So
great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Check us out. All right. With that being said, all right. So we're weaving that. I need that validation to keep me going.
You do.
All right. So we're weaving together the importance of building teams, building a great company. And I got to ask this question of all three of you. You're definitely lighting up when you're talking about your businesses. But what is it that you love about what you're creating? What's top of mind? Azadeh, I'll come with you.
I'll let Ellie answer.
Oh,
All right. Yeah. What is it that you love about what you
Ella,
do?
you take it first.
okay. There are a few things. First is something new and change. I'm all about the radical change every time. It's not a good thing. It keeps you like exhausted sometimes, but I'm all about change and something new. Learning about what might change the humankind, what might bring something new to the bigger scale to people that's gonna help them. I don't know, change the humanity, change how the history goes. So it's the change and the tech behind it, because I purely believe that tech is the tool to change how we live, how we operate, how we think, how we evolve. So yeah, it's tech, curiosity, change, like all of those abstract things. And the second thing will be people.
Yeah.
I love working with the most talented and smartest people, and I really believe that entrepreneurs and startup founders are like that. And I just love working and talking to them and learning from them. I learn from them even more than they learn from me. Although I hear a lot of thank yous in my course of work, but like I think it's a mutual kind of exchange of knowledge and energy, and just being around that type of founders, it's very energizing.
Yeah, I would agree. I love that the passion to solve problems with tech and make life a better place is truly, truly inspiring. So I'm addicted to the energy as well. All right, next.
No, I want Zain to answer.
What do I love about what I'm doing? Honestly speaking, I think my answer is twofold. The first one is I get to be creative. I get to try out different experiments, see how we can visualize art in, let's say, different ways, and not just in 2D form, but also in 3-dimensional forms. But the thing that drives me most, right, apart from this creative desire, is finally seeing these blind and visually impaired people, them experiencing our pieces. One of the very first tests that we did was this kid from Norway called Marcus, and as he's experiencing this, he's telling us on how his mom is an artist, and she intentionally puts in thicker. She uses thicker paint and a lot more brushstrokes, just so that he, as a blind person, can feel the painting. So this was for him the first time that he could actually experience art in that 3-dimensional form. And on top of that, he surprised us because he knew a lot about AI as well. So as we were explaining to him how we made this, he's like, "Oh yeah, I know that. Yeah, I know that machine learning model. I know you do this and this and this." So which was phenomenal as well. But yeah, going from there, we've seen so many other people give us similar reactions that it's the first time they're able to experience art, all right? Or for people that used to be able to see and who unfortunately went blind or were visually impaired later, for them being able to finally again experience art again. The look that we see in their the look that we see on their faces, the smiles that we see, I think that's the thing that drives me to push the boundaries, make this experience as best as it could be.
I just had a thought. I was going to think out loud, but there's something equally soothing to touching art as there is to actually creating it. And I'll tell you where I'm kind of getting this notion from. So my daughter, she's doing great in school, but what has really helped her, and she's 10. What's really helped her lately in focusing in class is her teacher gave her. They call it fidget spinners, but they're different. They're squishies, they're little clickers, and there's they got the classic spinners. They gives her something to do with her hands while she's focusing, and that's healing to her because being in class can make people fidget and move and not focus and be all over the place. So I'm wondering if there's this parallel to touching art where it's very healing. I think people who draw and paint and sing and do all and create clothes, it's a very healing exercise. It's very mind clearing. Touching it is very, I'm assuming it's my hypothesis, I guess, is very similar.
I would say so, yes. Because initially when we thought about it with our audio guides and everything, we were initially thinking that, oh no, 10 minutes is way too long for an audio guide. But contrary to that, when all of these accessibility experts and all these blind people were using our pieces, they were like, oh no, we actually want to hear more. We want more details. We want to understand what this piece is, because I'm so intrigued by every part of this.
Interesting. Oh, I love this. All right.
Give me your question again.
Okay. What is it about what you're doing, and it can be anything, that you love so much?
Well, I want to say what your audience want to hear, not so much what I do every day, because I basically lost everything during pandemic. And I built a company after 20 some years that just disappeared in the air. And I think what I love to do every day and what I enjoy the most is to see that I was able to build it again. And I was able to make it again. And if I was not who I was during my 20s and I did not experience success, I could not remember that in the back of my mind that can be done.
So let's do a deeper dive on that a little bit. Because there's a lot of people who experience that in startup.
Every day.
When we first started the show, we would bring in people who got laid off in corporate America. Because I think it's in that space of being laid off, they could not only reflect on their position at the organization that they were at and teach us what they learned, whether it be sales or marketing or whatever position they held, or C-suite leadership. But now there's this process of processing their feelings.
Yeah.
What helped you in that? I mean, what was kind
remembering the good days.
Remembering gratitude.
Remembering the good days. You have to be able to stand before you run. And you have to be able to have the confidence every hour, every day. Yes, you do fall apart once in a while. You say it's not going to work out. But if you see and believe in the light at the end of the tunnel and focus on you're going to make it more than you focus on I'm not going to make it, focus on being grateful versus focusing on complaining, you will make it. If you work, I spoke for the student of 26 of West Valley College just 2-3 weeks ago, and they wanted to know as an immigrant how they're going to make it in this country. I said, work. Work 16 hours a day. You sell watermelon, you're going to make it. You just work. You go to school, work. You have a work again. You work for somebody, get another job. There is no way you don't make it. So I will tell you what I enjoy every single hours of my work is that I made it again.
I've had a great conversation with you a few weeks back. We were, visited you in San Francisco. We've talked on the phone a few times, and listening to you here, I've never heard you make excuses. You just said work.
Yes.
Work. Right? So you're not waiting for it. It's already within you.
They say the cheapest labor is your own time. And if you can put your time, you're going to get it back.
I love that. We got to do a masterclass on confidence and building with you at some point.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, I love it. So
I want to double down on what Azadeh said. So about immigrants, right? I'm an immigrant myself. So there's this thing that I heard from other immigrant founders. There is no place to go back to. You don't have any warm house or opportunities to go back to. You just came to this country and the only way is through and up. That's it. So that's the mindset that I've seen a lot of times with immigrant founders. I remember this pitch competition where one of the founders, he pitched his company, everything was great, and one of the judges on the judge panel asked him, like, okay, what are you going to do if it's not working out? Like your business not working out, what are you going to do with that? He said, he looked at us and he's like, what do you mean it's not going to work out? It will work out.
Yeah.
He's
He's like, I sold my car, I sold my house, I sold my apartment, I sold everything that I had and I moved to San Francisco. It's going to work out. That's the only way I have. The same way. And you just work because you can't just lay back and say, oh, I'm not going to work because I feel sad. I failed. Okay. And what now? Get up and work.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
God,
For all of those people that they get laid off, I would just find a job. It doesn't have to be in my field. While you're looking for a job, you have to work. Waiting and sitting, it's the poison. You have to just work. I mean, I started completely a different field during pandemic because I knew if I stop working, I'm going to die down.
Mm-hmm.
So I worked, and then my business just came back again.
did you hear that question where like a lot of people ask each other sometimes, what are you going to do when you have 10, 15, 20, $100 million in your account? And most of the time what I hear from VCs and startup founders is like, oh, I'm going to take, I don't know, a sabbatical for a year or two, spend some time with my family, and then I'm going to start doing something over again.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's the state of mind specifically for this area, San Francisco Bay Area, and people who live here. It's not about the money. It's about that you cannot not work.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's just how you live. So I think it's about people who are like binded like that.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing about passion. I mean, on one end of the spectrum, it's, startup ecosystem is driven by pain. What problem are we trying to solve? Whether it's in our own life, right? Or in someone else's life that you can connect to. The other side of it is like, I'm going to win. This is what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah.
Right. And so the pain and the love of what you do keeps you going. I mean, Jensen Huang is asked all the time, what do you think about, work-life balance? And he almost, he doesn't, it doesn't compute. Like, I'm working all the time. Right. Well, don't you?
Because that's my life.
Yeah. He'll ask, well, when you're with your family and, don't you have to take time to say, I'm thinking about work. Right. And he does, say, lightly, he wants to spend more time with his family, but he's immersed. And that's what founders do, is they immerse themselves. And the passion and the pain is this constant drive that has them keep showing up.
And not to feel guilty, Brian.
Yeah.
Most of the time people, they ask me, how do you balance it? And don't you feel guilty? You work so much and all of this. Well, if I wouldn't, I would not be here. And if I wanted to feel guilty, then I would not make it. So pick. You want to feel guilty and not to have it and just always hope and wish, or you want to make it and just not to look back and say, oh, I didn't have enough Sundays, or, because right now I'm dealing with my company after pandemic as a startup. Yeah. I work 7 days a week. I don't know what is day off. My day off is at work, and I try not to complain. And I work because my success is my vacation.
Yeah. I think I'm going to say something a little bit deep, so get ready with
I'm ready, baby. Let's have it. Let it roll.
I think the ultimate feeling of guilt, however, would be to come to the end of your life and realize you didn't do what you were supposed to do. And when you realize I'm supposed to be doing this and I'm not apologizing for it, you won't have that feeling. I believe that you will come to the sense of like, I did it. Yeah. I ran it.
There's one thing I think that we're missing out here, the support system that you might have. Because if you have a family, if you have those who love you, that support system is immensely important.
Yes.
The person that you live with, the partner, your personal partner that you pick, you don't want them to pick on your brain saying, hey, why did you spend this much time at this event? Or like, why did you work this Saturday, right? Because it's not fair.
Yeah.
And that's where the guilt comes in. I don't know about men, but women for sure, especially if you have kids.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Well, sometimes you have them and you have to put them behind you.
Oh, you just take them to work with you. Yeah. Well, it's just like sometimes you just take the kids to work with you because that's how it works.
Take the Zoom call with them right there.
Absolutely, yes. Okay. So, that support system, which consists of small things every day that keeps you going, like a cup of coffee in the morning when no one talks to me, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, waking up and listening to that podcast while I'm driving, or
Silicon
listening to
Valley
that
Impact.
book.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
This is Silicon Valley Impact.
Cycling 10 days a minute. So, I mean, there is a system that you built out as someone who loves to work.
Yeah.
And there is a person you choose, and that person chooses you the way you are, being obsessed with something that you like doing. So that's super important as well.
Yeah. So I'm going to ask you guys what's next for all of you, what's kind of on the horizon. But Azadeh, I have to ask you.
I'm creating an app.
You're doing a couple things. You're creating an app, but also you've done a lot of women fashion, but what about you, man? You got anything
It's
for me?
coming up.
You got anything for me?
I'm opening a new location, and I'm going to do what I never done before. I'm going to have menswear next to women's wear. I think they're better client. May I say that?
Well, I'm gonna.
Yeah, we need a. How about a Brian Sparks makeover
Yes.
offsite?
Yes, let's do that.
Yeah,
that
that'd be a
should
lot
be
of
one
fun.
of our shows.
Yes, indeed.
Yes.
I'll do that with you.
Yeah.
I'm ready to give up the black T-shirt.
We know about your black T-shirt, Brian. We know about your black
You
T-shirt.
can't handle the truth.
All right, so tell us about the app. How far are you willing to talk about this? 'Cause I know
Well,
that you're-
it's in
this is
there.
new.
It's coming up. It's going to be there very soon. We've been chatting outside, me and Ella. It's 3 decades of my experience. I'm going to be there. I'm going to be the agent inside the app, and it will make every man and woman's life easier. It's a Google Calendar of your fashion and your wardrobe.
I love it. And how soon before that? Is
Next month, it's
yeah?
ready.
Okay, all right. So we're gonna have a launch party here.
Yes,
all right.
please do. Or in my store. How about that? We
Let's-
can bring the
Sounds good.
microphones there.
Brian,
Yeah.
I just bought wireless microphones.
Oh,
Yes,
great.
Yeah, so
yes.
we'll do something.
I'll bring the
Believe
cameras.
me, it's going to be fun.
Yeah.
Let's do it there.
Okay. All right. And so that's coming up, but I want to ask you, so that's what's next for you. Ella, what's next for you? What's on the horizon? What's 2026 and 2027 looking like for you?
Well, it's definitely upgrading some of my knowledge in terms of AI.
Mm-hmm.
I hate bringing this up. I know everybody talks about AI, but I'm really curious about how AI is going to be represented in the society in terms of model welfare. That's the term that I've been really interested lately. I'm diving deeper into that. I want to understand the concept of a constitution for AI, where we're going with this as a humankind, at the same time being more feet on the ground. It's still startups, venture capital firms, and big tech companies because I help them to work together and building up programs from scratch. So that's what I'm gonna keep doing. That's what I love. And like I had one thing that I wanted to do, and I did that this year. I've never knew how to cycle. So like I was always reading books when I was a kid. I was like this nerdy kid when I was growing up, and I really wanted to start cycling. So I did.
Nice.
Yeah, and I'm very proud of myself actually.
Beautiful.
So I'm cycling every
How about some validation?
Thanks, I needed that.
I can't believe I got this far into the show and haven't asked you. I mean, with all the investments that you've been around and playing in this space for so long, real quick, what are the top 3 things that an investor looks like for our audience that may look fundable? You know, kind of upfront, just so people can start to curate these insights.
We're talking about early on investments, right?
Yeah, early
like
investments.
early stage investments.
Series A. Yeah.
Okay, pre-seed Series A. So pre-seed Series A, again, it's a team. In the end of the day, it's the team. It's product market fit. It's founder market fit. And probably the timing, I would say, is it the right time to build your company right now, to ship this product? And yeah, those are kind of 4 things that everybody talks about them, but if you dive deeper into each one of them, it's going to be another full podcast. So.
Yeah, give me real quick one thing that comes to mind with founder market fit.
Founder market fit, the expertise,
There
domain
it is.
expertise.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now, Azadeh making a fashion app makes total sense because she's been in the market for 30 years, more than 30 years. She's a designer herself. She's a creative person. If she wouldn't create that app or she wouldn't try to scale her knowledge and her talent, that would be interesting why she didn't do that. But she is on the path. So this is the product market, founder market fit right here.
I'm thinking about selling black T-shirts. So maybe we can have a conversation. Okay.
Stop it.
All right. Zan, what's next for you?
So with Please Touch This Art, we are scaling across Germany and subsequently Europe right now. Towards the end of next year, we are also going to be expanding to the Middle Eastern market, and eventually come here to the US.
Okay, looking forward to that, man. Well, that was a great show.
This is
I'm having
wonderful.
fun because you all have different perspectives on what you're building. I love the idea of creativity interjecting this. So well done. Thanks for
We
coming.
learned so much
Thank you for
from
having
each
Yeah,
other.
thanks for
Yeah.
coming.
Yeah.
Brian,
That's really cool.
great job. All right, more
Yes.
fashion show, more fake. All right, work that catwalk. All right, well, I want to thank everybody for tuning in to Silicon Valley Impact. We'll see you all soon.
And
Thanks,
thank
Brian.
you, Brian, back there.
Yeah, thanks, Brian.